Hey guys, it's me JSHDIY and welcome back to my channel. It has been the longest time since we went through and just tested out random no glue slime recipes, so that is kind of what we are going to be doing today. Just going to be going through and testing out random no glue slime recipes and we can make them together and see if they work. The notification squad shoutouts I'm going to be giving out in today's videos go to BTS Oppa, Thing1, and also Mason Ewing. I just wanted to thank you guys all for clicking the notification bell. It means the world to me. But now for the moment we've been waiting for, on with the video. Okay, so the first recipe I wanted to test out today is the shaving cream clear slime recipe. Now, first off, I know what you guys are thinking. Shaving cream and clear don't really seem like they are two things that go hand in hand, and that made perfect sense to me too when I first heard about this, except for shaving cream actually does turn transparent, at least certain brands, once it is sat for a while. You can actually even add shaving cream into certain types of glue and it will turn clear again over time. So for this recipe, we are going to be testing out to see if we can make slime with just shaving cream, some coloring, water, and a little bit of shampoo as well. First came to my attention in a water slime video that you guys commented on about 6 months ago. And when I saw this, I was kind of just wrote it down and knew that I would put this on the back burner to test someday, so I thought this fit perfectly into today's video. Not really any sort of proportions or anything to this, so I just added in the shaving cream, the coloring, the water, and then a little bit of shampoo on top of it as well. And I wasn't really sure as far as activation would go because we're not from what I've heard with this recipe, it's supposed to like do any sort of mixing or anything. It's just one of those recipes where you let it sit and over time it forms. So I put the lid on this. Unfortunately, I added in a little bit too much shaving cream, so it kind of squeezed out. But I was pretty hopeful with this because I also have in the past made DIY no pigment metallic slime stuff with fluffy shaving cream or whatever. And over time, this is what it turned out as. As you guys can see, it has a gelatinous texture from the shampoo, and also the water gives it that super runny water slime consistency. But as you guys can see, the slime is fully clear because of the shampoo. Because of the shaving foam, and this turned out really well. It kind of did a weird thing when I mixed it. Like, it seemed to like almost get thicker, and it kind of had this weird like almost stringy texture. But this recipe completely worked, and I was so surprised. It was also fun seeing how much it transformed. Like earlier, it was just foam, and then so the next recipe we're going to be testing out is one that was commented from one of you guys again, but this one was commented on last week's video where I tried all of the TikTok 1-ingredient water slime recipes, and one of you guys told me to try mixing hand sanitizer, water, purple, specifically purple, Crayola like marker liquid, and also salt and shampoo, and I'm also not sure if I said this already, but also water. And you guys had said, or I guess the person that commented this said that they were just messing around mixing some ingredients together, and some reason this literally worked. So I was very excited because I haven't done that many hand sanitizer recipes, but they seem to be exploding a lot this week, so I was excited to try this one out to kind of get into all the hand sanitizer stuff. The bottle, I also added in some add-ins from one of my little add-in dividers, and then I went in with the hand sanitizer and squeezed it in, and I'm pretty sure you're supposed to add around 2 tablespoons if I'm remembering correctly from the comments. I usually read through every single comment I get, and then I usually try my best to remember things if I don't screenshot it. But I also added in salt, and then we're supposed to top it off with a little bit of shampoo as well to gelatinize it or whatever. And the specific type of Crayola marker I used is this one that almost looks purpley magenta colored, except for it turns into the super deep like ultraviolet color when it's sat over time. And I thought this was a good one to use it with because we're supposed to use purple dye apparently, and also we have to let this sit. So after I think maybe 4 days or so, this is how it turned out. So as you guys can see, it was really thick, of course, from the hand sanitizer and the shampoo and everything. It had kind of a weird residue that just smelled like hand sanitizer that I didn't really love that much, and I was a little confused by the texture because some parts felt thicker than others, so it wasn't the most uniform texture, and it was kind of not super convenient to take out of the bottle. But this recipe fully worked, as you guys can tell. So please let me know if you guys also can come up with any other hand sanitizer recipes that you guys want to see me test out anytime soon, because I am super excited that there is more and more from your guys' comments that you guys are telling me about. Okay, so this next slime recipe is one that comes from my Water Slime Wednesday video last week, where I tested the bath bomb slimes. In that video, I tested out 2 bath bomb slimes. One of them was the giant bath bomb slimes, where I did like 50 or 60 bath bombs, and then the other one I tested out was a hair gel plus bath bomb plus water recipe. And I saw a comment from one of you guys that made perfect sense, and a lot of you guys responded to it, also like saying I should check this out and try it because you guys thought it made sense too from what it seemed like. And basically what one of you guys said is take a bath bomb and let it sit in some shampoo for 5 minutes, take it out, and then mix the shampoo together. And it is going to be like allowing there to be enough activator where it doesn't melt the slime from the bath bomb, but also enough for it to sit over time and turn it into slime. So when I pulled the bath bombs out after 5 minutes, there was a little bit of like a white residue on the outside of the shampoo from the bath bomb starting to dissolve. So I mixed this all together, and I did feel a little bit of like, I don't know how to explain it other than it like jiggleifies, like it starts to activate from the bath bombs. And bath bombs have salt and baking soda in them, so you can work with them as activator. But the ones in my Water Slime Wednesday video last week were a fail, so I was so happy that you guys commented this recipe, because this fully worked, and this was a great technique to make slime with a bath bomb without the problems of the ones from last week where it overactivated or it melted. So this was the perfect method to activate some shampoo with just letting the bath bomb sit on the shampoo for 5 minutes. Okay, so as you guys know, maybe from recent videos, you guys can tell I'm a little bit obsessed with coffee, and I posted an Instagram story of this instant coffee I bought from 2 brands that I loved. One is called Blue Bottle Coffee, and the other brand was Human Made, and they did like a collaboration. And I posted an Instagram story of this instant coffee, and one of you guys responded with this Dalgona whipped coffee slime that you said that you made and you wanted me to try it out. So of course I wanted to try it out, and obviously Dalgona whipped coffee is like, I'm very late to the whole Dalgona whipped coffee thing, but one of you guys asked me to test this out, so of course I'm going to try it. I have actually never made even normal Dalgona whipped coffee, and during the time of this trend, I never had instant coffee. I'm like, don't make coffee that way. So because I had the instant coffee, I first tried it out the normal way, and it literally did feel like slime when you mix the sugar and the instant coffee together, just with sugar and coffee. But for this way, you're supposed to do salt instead of sugar, and you are supposed to whip it up until it is completely whipped up. And I'll show you guys up on the screen, but you guys can see that little coffee drink in the corner is something I made, and it was the Dalgona like normal recipe I was trying. And when I made it, I could literally flip the bowl upside down, and it was completely solid, and I could touch the Dalgona coffee stuff, and it was fully solid. So I kind of thought this was really interesting, and I already knew that this was probably going to work, but I have no idea how somebody figured out that salt was going to do it better. But I accidentally added too much water when I did it with the salt the first time, so I had to dump it out and start again with less water this time. But this time with less water, I was really able to get it all whipped up. When it starts to get whipped up, it really gets whipped up. Like, it happens in like 1 second or 2 when it like fully is like coming into its Dalgona whipped coffee form. And so this happened really quickly, but once it got to this form, I was noticing also it was starting to turn into a clump. And when I did it the classic way with the sugar, it did not do this. It just got thicker and thicker. But as you guys can see on the screen, it was making a clump, like it was making a ball. And although the classic way made something that I could touch without it sticking, this made like a little clump. It was like a ball of slime, but it also had like some liquid around it and it wasn't fully incorporated in. So I was a little bit confused, but I was so like curious on how this worked. Like what ingredient is in instant coffee that makes it do this? I got this little tiny cup in one of my little organizers with all sorts of fun little things. And I thought we would make like a little drink slime. So the cup I decided to use kind of looks like a tiny Starbucks cup, but it's super, super tiny. And so what I decided to do was just make a little shampoo slime in it. So I started off by adding in some salt, and then I poured some little bit of dye in, and then I added some shampoo onto everything. And basically all you have to do after doing this is just let it sit, and you'll have slime the next day because the salt will absorb into the shampoo and thicken it, and then the coloring will kind of mix in, I think, over time. So then we'll have a purple colored slime. So after a day, it didn't fully look purple because I guess I didn't add in enough. But as you guys can see, the salt soaked into the shampoo and we got slime. Okay, so the next recipe we're going to be testing out is a water slime recipe. And this recipe says that water plus canola oil, like spray, makes slime. So we're going to be seeing if this works. You also, apparently, it's mandatory that you add food coloring. I guess there's something in it that maybe does something. So we're going to see if this works, but I am very, very skeptical. Now, obviously, I think most of us, if not all of us, know water and oil do not mix, so I was a little curious to see if this would do something. And also, this isn't some sort of like a foam spray form because it's supposed to be for pans, and apparently when you add water and food coloring to this, it makes slime if you let it sit overnight to evaporate and stuff. So I was very curious but also skeptical at first. "48 hours later, this was what I got." So as you guys can see, it looks super, super thick like slime. And when you pull it up, it has this stringy, like almost, it makes these like little whip stiff peaks when you pull the like the popsicle stick out of it, which was so interesting to me. And also it was pretty transparent and it looked like kind of promising. Now, I don't know if I would have let this sit for a little bit longer, if it would have evaporated more and turned into more slime, but I played with it just to show you guys what it looked like after 48 hours, because I'm pretty sure that was what the original recipe said to wait. Okay, so this next recipe is one that I have been seeing everybody ask me to make, and this apparently is the best shampoo slime recipe ever. What you need for it is any sort of shampoo, whether it activates or not with salt. You also need water, and also the key ingredient is you need rubbing alcohol. Apparently, no matter what shampoo you use and how little shampoo you add, with the water and the alcohol, when you mix it, the alcohol will start to dry out the shampoo and a slime will start to form. And sure enough, this happened. I was so shocked at seeing this work, and I've never tried a recipe at all like this or at all with rubbing alcohol. So I was so excited that this was working and that you can add rubbing alcohol to a shampoo slime to help it activate. So I let this sit and excess water evaporated out, and this turned out so good. The container I'm using, by the way, has JSH DIY stickers on the bottom, and this turned out so good. The slime was a little bit sticky, but this shampoo slime was amazing, and I didn't have to add any salt or anything. The alcohol dried it all out with the water, and this water slime was so cool, and I cannot believe this works. You guys need to try this. Okay, so also I wanted to try out another hand sanitizer recipe because as I was talking about earlier, I'm excited about hand sanitizer recipes right now. I don't know why, but I realized, I guess, that there's a lot more variety than I was thinking with these. I used to think that it was just like put hand sanitizer in the freezer and it works, but I wanted to try this one out that I kind of just thought up, and all it was going to be was just letting hand sanitizer and also Pantene shampoo sit to let it like evaporate out and turn into slime, and this was what I got. This weekend, I'm going to be doing a Q&A answering all of your questions, so comment down below a question for me, and I will use it in my Q&A this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and hanging out with me. I will have 2 videos up on the screen that I think you might like, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys!